all I can say is, like, this is a truly masterful, tactical, strategic way of attacking the record. By the way, I go by the name of Caesar, a.k.a. Mr. Sneaker Out, and you're tuned into Apparently This Happened. And right now, Kendrick Lamar has just done what we were expecting him to do. And for some people, they were putting him on the clock, but they didn't do the same to Drake. So let's keep it even for everybody. Let's make it fair for everybody. Now, I'm hoping everybody's feeling blessed and highly favored, but we're not even going to waste any time. Let's just get straight to it. The way Euphoria begins. Now, first and foremost, this is a disclaimer, right? Because we know how the digital world plays. So in case this is AI, then we scrap this whole thing and you pretend I didn't say a daggone thing. But if this is not AI, and if this is legitimately a legit record and it's sounding and I'm feeling, and I've done my research enough to know that it is a legit record, all right, enough said. The way Euphoria begins is very smooth. The way Drake was angling himself when he released the two joints that he released, right? In one of the joints, he was like, don't like, you know, and we're pretty much expecting you to come with that lyrical miracle stuff, right? And him saying that is trying to rob Kendrick of his strengths. Because he obviously knows Kendrick's strength is that. Because let's keep it real. When we're talking on a lyrical level, Drake knows how to make club records, world records, whatever you want to call it, type records. Pop records, club bangers, whatever you want to call it. But when it comes to being a lyricist and being on that lyrical level, I don't think he'll ever get the same respect that other lyricists get, for the simple fact that he gets assistance, which is a topic and a point that we'll get to in a second. The main thing is, he and everybody in the world knows that J. Cole watched him on first-person shooter. We all know, we saw it. It wasn't a bad thrashing, but on a lyrical level, when we're talking about sharpness, there's one guy who's hanging out with Jid in them, then he's hanging out with Dreamville, and then you got another guy who's hanging out with OVO, he's hanging out with Yachty in them, he's hanging out with Yeet and guys like that who are not known to be lyrical. So I say that to say this. One guy's going to be a little sharper because he's like the old man in the park who plays with the teenagers. His cardio is going to be on another level compared to the guy who plays with the guys at the YMCA, man. The generic, like the geriatric unit. You know, the 70-year-olds, man, the 60-year-olds playing pickup ball. And you're in your 30s, 20s, or whatever, man. So you really feel like AI. You really feel like Kobe out there when you smoke it. Yeah. Nah. J. Cole was hanging out with marksmen. Drake was hanging out with guys who were having a good time and partying. Nothing's wrong with either side. But when we're talking on a lyrical level, when he said, oh, we know where you're coming with that lyrical miracle, all that stuff, the way Kendrick started Euphoria is on some chill, I'm going to hit you with the most left field thing possible. I'm hitting you with some spoken word. And the spoken word pretty much is a precursor to what he's about to say. He gives you pretty much his whole angle with that little monologue, that little spoken word thing that he did in the beginning. Because once he did that, and then you start to hear the verses open up with the reference to the okay. And if I'm not mistaken, maybe Drake threw a jab at him in that specific portion of that song. I've forgotten what the name of that song is. You know the song I'm talking about, man. So now, in your opinion, what you think in your opinion with all this that's happened, as a person who's you appreciate hip hop, but you're not like a person who's like extremely deeply immersed in it, how do you feel when you listen to Drake's in terms of the impact? Because I'll give you my opinion in a second, but how do you feel about the impact when you hear Drake diss record? Because we're on home soil, so we gotta root for Drake. So this is not a bash Drake session. This is we rooting for home team. But how do you feel?
Hey, there's no bashing it. It's all, what did they say? It's all fair in love and war.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's like, this is fun. This is what people come to the game to do.
I hear you.
You know, to rap. But in terms of Kendrick Lamar, I only heard the song once, but I felt that it, like, he killed it in all corners. Like, he didn't leave any room for
no stone unturned, right?
No stone unturned. He had 3 different flows. Like, I don't know. I feel like Drake's 2 diss songs put together is not even half of this one song that Kendrick did.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
And you know what? For the record, Kendrick released Control back in the day, but he recently released that verse where he dedicated it to dissing possibly J. Cole and Drake, right? Now, bear in mind, that's not even a full song. That was just a verse. What do you think about that? That's a crazy impact to have to spit a verse.
Just a verse, yeah.
Just a verse versus and your songs.
Came back with 2 songs.
Versus your songs.
No, people came back with 2 songs and an apology.
No. So one person came with a diss, J. Cole, which he subsequently apologized for, right? So that's one guy. The other guy released 2 songs, one using AI, Tupac and Snoop Dogg, tailor-made, right? Yeah. Using AI, Tupac and Snoop Dogg, and you just told me that Tupac's estate possibly there's some articles stating that they were not very happy with what happened, right?
Yeah, they didn't appreciate
like,
that.
Okay, and I saw Snoop. I saw a thumbnail with Snoop talking about it, but I just never watched it. So you know what? If anything, I might just grab the clip and just play it right here, just so you guys can see what Snoop's take was on this whole thing. But right now, in my opinion, it's like Kendrick's verses, whenever he's releasing a diss verse, I'll give you an example. Kendrick is a true student of the game because as much as Drake has crazy ability when it comes to rapping, right? Kendrick watches battle rap, and I know he watches battle rap when he's saying, let's play a game of, like, what did he say? It's almost like the game that they play in battle rap, and they say, let's play a game of swear to God. Swear to God you never like drank poop out of a da-da-da. Say swear to God you da-da-da. He used the same angle when he was like, what did he say? I've forgotten what the line is, but we'll throw a snippet right here so you guys know exactly what I'm referencing. And if you're a battle rap watcher or you're an avid supporter of battle rap, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But all in all, I would say this, right? These guys are amazing competitors. They're great at what they do. They're amazing at what they do. They're great strategists, both amazing strategies that they're using, right? This is now battling at a high level. This is high level battling. Kendrick mentioned this is me. This is like, forget a 20v1. This is a 1v20. Me versus all your Ghost Riders. That's another thing. Because no matter what, if I'm going against you, the world will automatically feel like I win because you have the assistance of writers worldwide. And he even mentioned the name Bean. And he was like, yo, call up that guy. I'll whoop him too. Call up Chubbs. Call up I'll whoop. Like, and when he mentioned that, hey, you wouldn't push nothing, you wouldn't push me, you wouldn't push a T, you wouldn't put... Yeah. And then he's like, yo, that's Terrence Thornton? I'm Terrence Crawford.
I don't know what that means, but...
You know Terrence Crawford, man. You saw what he did to Errol Spence.
The boxer?
Right, and Terrence Thornton is Pusha T's real name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And Pusha T's diss song was nice, too.
You understand what I'm saying? You understand? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not even trying to be biased. This is about impact. This is somebody attacking you for all the insecurities that you have, because we all know that you, like, to some level, sometimes when people want to do things and they want to be extra accepted, they have a tendency to overdo things and overdo certain characteristics and stuff. So when he's mentioning you really want to be accepted by the black audience, that's something that I had mentioned prior, which is no matter what, everybody looks at it like, hey man, have you ever had sugar water in your life? Yeah, I have. Hey dude, have you ever eaten a slice of bread that was a little stale? Yeah, I have. Yo, you ever had roaches in your crib? Yeah, I had. You see? So they have that commonality, right? All these guys in the game. So when they see one guy driving a Rolls Royce, right? I know how far you came because I remember back in the day when your sneakers were scuffed and everything. You get what I'm saying? Man, I remember when you had a snaggletooth, man, and now you got like $30,000 veneers. I remember when you get what I'm saying? When you were selling your CDs on the corner, man, this was before you had a whip. And I was already on the come up and you were coming up. I remember all that stuff. You get what I'm saying? But with him, there's no nothing. That's why he mentions cases. Like, I'm dealing with real cases where I'm helping real people. What are you doing? You're talking about shooting like I was in Compton. I had to survive. Versus you, like what you had to survive. The biggest thing that you had to survive is maybe an identity crisis. That's what he's angling.
Yeah, with the abs and...
Your abs, your core audience. Tell your core audience, like, can't stomach what I'm saying, and let them know what you did with your abs or whatever he said with it.
Yeah.
Like, this is craftful speaking. When you now listen, when you listen to all the breakdowns after the spoken word, go listen to the spoken word again. And he basically broke it down in that spoken word to say, when you see a superhero spiraling and doing things that are like with the degenerates, he's not calling the guys that he hangs around with degenerates, but for the level that we're at, you're busy getting inspiration from these guys just to be relevant, like you're running from being your age, or you're running from, you get what I'm saying? Like, you're running from something. Basically, you're running from being yourself, in essence. And this is coming from, I appreciate everything that Drake does, and people might say, nah, but you really sound like you're coming in. But I'm not. Music. I'm breaking down everything from as a consumer. But this is, and when he's saying this is how people feel, this is not just me. This is the world, man. And then the biggest one, which Rick Ross also kind of used, is when Rick Ross put up a clip in his story showing Drake using the N-word, right? Saying nigga, like, you get what I'm saying? How awkward it seemed. So all in all, this is just amazing to see. The views are going crazy. This is about to go crazy. If Drake is a strategist, I think he is. He already wrote another one. So as soon as this one drops, he'll probably drop another one just to keep the noise going, to overshadow the one that Kendrick dropped. But the one that Kendrick dropped, it's like, how can I say? You can dance around and you can do all the crazy moves you want. But at the end of the day, when you're playing on a court, it's about who's scoring the shots and whose shots are going in. When you throw a stone in a crowd of dogs, only the dog that's hit with a stone will cry. The rest may scatter, but only the one that was hit with a stone will cry. So right now, it's everything he's saying is pretty much, it seems on brand.
It's a 360, right?
Right.
But that's the thing, though, because and you never know, because Drake and or Drake's team,
right?
Okay, they're smart. This guy is a multi-million-dollar, This is an This is
a conglomerate moving.
You know what I mean? So maybe he put out trash diss songs to bait Kendrick, because Kendrick is so good. He's gonna come, and then he's gonna come with a back-to-back. I don't underestimate Drake and or his team. You know what I mean?
But
maybe they just put, because I cannot believe it was. The two songs that he put out,
they're good, but they're not like they're not hitting hard.
Back to back was good,
right? But I believe what you're saying. But then again,
it's very they could be very calculated.
But now, what if you've met your match when it comes to being masterful? But what if this is my weakest shot?
Yes.
Well, no. I'm asking you, what do you think if that's that person's weakest shot?
What are you talking
about? What if Euphoria is Kendrick's weakest shot? What happens?
That's
then?
not possible. He did. That's what I'm saying. He did such a 360 diss track,
right?
That if Drake was to come up with a killer, like a response,
right?
Can Kendrick top this one? Because he just put all his cards.
How do you know? No, but he didn't. No, he didn't.
What else is
because
there to say?
He clearly said, this is not even about exposing too much. I'll spare you because this is a random act of kindness.
Oh, okay.
So basically, this is me giving you a little tap. This is a little pause, a little love tap.
That's crazy.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because you got to really read it for what it is and see it for what it is. And if somebody is saying to you like, yo, and look at how nonchalant, there's some aggression in his thing, but look at his approach.
Yeah.
His approach is pretty much nonchalant, man. I feel like he hasn't even kicked into AMG mode. You know what AMG mode is? When a person kicks into the bag, man.
Was there any social media response?
No, because this just basically came out like an hour. So we are on it for the hour.
And on a side note,
right,
I was highly disappointed. Like, you can't do that to Tupac's name. First off, R.I.P. Tupac.
Right.
Great artist.
Right.
When you talk about crazy diss tracks and stuff like that.
Right, hit 'em up.
Hit 'em up.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Don't chase a number, chase a dream. That been my decree.